I got asked again about Bill Cosby's film career, and I loved all the stuff with him and Sidney Poitier, and I thought he had a charisma about him. Um, but then he had like films that, where he was like kind of like there, and some of them films were corny, but yet he had a name. He had a vibe about him where he was present, but did they always capture the essence of him? I think that one of the things is that really and truly, without the roles with him and Sidney Poitier, a lot of films that he did, it almost felt like he was a token and he was kind of there. And he kind of got like, he did get ghettoized, kind of like Richard Pryor and black comedians of the time, in that he didn't get what I would say his due diligence for his impact on TV. Because do I ever think that his film career really was balanced out what he did for acting and his depth as a comedian impact? Because actually, I remember Richard Pryor was saying he never cared for his own films and he never felt like he probably got even though I think he has some really good films. I think Blue Collar, and I think his role as Piano Man and Lady Sings the Blues and Which Way Is Up. I dig them films. Now, even stand up always dominant, and I think that's the thing about Cosby. The interesting thing about Cosby, some ways, if you took away the buddy with Portier and stuff, would his film career be that much progressive more than say Chris Rock's, for instance? Just saying, even though his impact as a comedian towers over so many. So it's interesting take when we talk about, film careers, uh, impact, how people look at you, the totality. There's just a whole lot of little layers and nuances, different things. So, um, it really speaks to where are you at with it and how you look at it. And, because he's had quite the, he's had an interesting career. Um, Great career. I'd separate the two because, again, personal, whatever. That man is one of the five greatest comedians ever. And his impact, if you can inspire somebody like Richard Pryor, you are automatically as great as anybody because that's, and Cosby's timing and what he did was uncanny. But I don't know if they actually always got it right with his film. Just think that such iconic, charismatic overall. But where does it come down with the films? Where does it come down with the, how you look at that? So that's a good debate. It's a good discussion. It makes you think. It's one of those things that you kind of got to kind of put in perspective. And once in a while, I get asked about. He does come up a lot random questions about because there's a lot of people that are fascinated, and they didn't probably get to see the hype of why he was so, seen as this guy and what made him this dude and why this and that and the other. And it always makes up for good discussion to talk about him. Um, you know, I thought, again, charismatic dude and definitely one of those guys that changed the course of TV and film. Did his films, though, capture that same essence and why some of it seems kind of like they didn't even do him justice and he had crossover appeal. So let's talk about it, though, about Bill Cosby's film career. And do you think that they got the most of hype to match what he was on the screen? Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm on one time. Peace.